Hi, this is Jade Empire. Just a few things before I get started. This is the PC Special Edition. The game was originally released in 2005 for the Xbox and PC. This special edition allows for higher resolutions in widescreen. It also added some new styles, some new enemies, and one player character. You can get it from Steam or GOG. It's also available on Origin, in case you're the one person that actually cares. I'm playing the GOG version. It's DRM free, it doesn't have some of the problems the Steam version has, and it includes all the bonus materials like the soundtrack, the manual, and artworks. Finally, the game was built in the same engine as KOTOR and KOTOR 2, the Odyssey engine. You'll be able to see the similarities in the graphics and how conversations work, but the combat system is very different. I'll explain that as soon as we get into the game. So let's get started. New game. Here you can create your character. You can choose from presets, but you can customize each one. So just choose the appearance that you want and then go custom character. Monk Sung is the player character that they added in the limited edition and then included him in the special edition as well. Here are the playable characters, male and female characters. I'm going to be playing as Furious Ming because I think he's cool. He's got a big dragon tattoo on his back. I'm basically going to be using exactly this, but I'm going to go custom character anyway. Here you have your main stats in the game. Body, which is your health. Your chi, which powers magic styles, and it's what you use to heal with. And mind, which you use up using weapon styles. I'm going to be keeping my stats pretty balanced throughout the game, and it doesn't really matter where you put these points early on anyway a great deal, so I'm just going to be putting one into each and then one into my chi, I think. It doesn't really matter a great deal. Now you can choose your main starting ability. These are all classed as martial styles. Apart from this one you have to choose. It cannot be unselected. This is your support style, and it can be used to activate a harmonic combo, which I will explain later. 1000 Cuts is fast punches. It's very quick, but it deals less damage per hit to compensate for that. Then there's Leaping Tiger. The leap is the power attack, and then the regular attack is attacking with the blades that are attached to your hands. In terms of damage versus speed, it's pretty balanced. White Demon I don't like very much. It's very slow but deals a lot of damage. I'm just not a fan of slow styles. Legendary Strike is what I've used the most. It uses kicks and it's quite balanced. I like that. Leaping Tiger I like decently as well. I'm going to go with 1000 Cuts though. I'm going to go with the very quick punches. I've been doing another playthrough with it as well. And then all we have to do is name our character. I'm going to go with the default, Furious Ming. Let's go. Here we are in the game. It's very pretty actually, for an Xbox game. Upscaled resolution of course.
I swear, one of these days I'll find a way around your guard.
So here's the conversation system. Very similar to KOTOR really, apart from your face changes. It's not necessarily representative of good or evil karma. It is most of the time, but it really represents your disposition, how you're saying it. You could have a frown on your face when you're saying something that is essentially good karma, but you're saying it aggressively. I'm going with good karma for this.
Happily. I feel that I learn something every time I face you, even if it's only a new place to nurse a bruise. So long as you're certain you have time.
I'm rarely beaten, friend.
Let us begin.
Combat tutorial. Like I said, very different to KOTOR. It's not turn-based anymore. We don't have the D&D style dice roll system. You don't have to select your ability on an interface and then wait for your character to use it. It's all active, real time. So use WASD to move around, obviously. Left click for your main attack. Right click for a power attack. Hold space to block, which I will probably never be doing, to be honest. I just never do it. Ouch. Use shift to use chi to heal yourself. You can see your bars up in the top corner. The red being your health, the blue is your chi, and the yellow is your focus. When an enemy is blocking, you use your right click power attack to break through it. There we go. Punchy punchy. You could see him healing there when he had the blue aura around him. There I was supposed to roll to avoid his hit. I didn't really do that, I just walked around. Now we just have to defeat him, which is very, very easy.
Did you see? Master Li was watching. He may not show it, but he clearly takes pride in watching his students practice. I learn something every time we meet, proving that loss sometimes is the best teacher. Thank the heavens the bruises are worth it. You are gracious as always. I regret that there won't be much time for such practice now that you've almost finished your training. Master Li told me to pass on that you should speak to him when you have the chance. He said you could take your time, so you need not rush.
We will be taking our time. There's things to pick up and people to talk to first.
He specifically told me that it was no rush, so I didn't think it would be vital. Besides, who could turn down a chance to practice with you? You have some time to wander the school and talk with other students. Smiling Mountain likely has some of the younger students available if you want to spar. I shall leave you to it. Take care, my friend.
Chapter 1, wherein a master foretells of doom, a rival challenges for station, and the past haunts the present. Your training nears its completion in the idyllic setting of Two Rivers. Master Li promises that soon you will know more about how you came here, and where your future will lead. All the while, strange tales begin to spread of ghosts that will not rest, and shadowy assassins who heed no law. Now we're free to wander around. We have a quest journal update. Just to speak to Master Li. These two people are going to run in there and start fighting. They bow. And there we go. They've both got spears. Ew. I hate spears.
Our most senior student has a spare moment to spend with me? An honor. No, wait, I shouldn't be like that. Master Li always reminds me that jealousy is a low path and not worthy of one of his students. I understand your training is almost complete. I wonder who will replace you as our example.
And then she goes straight back to talking like that again.
It certainly won't be me. I can't even imagine Master Li saying, "You must strive to be like Lin in all things," to the others. Just the opposite, more likely.
Be the best you can.
That makes sense. Is that how you live your life? If so, it certainly seems to be an effective philosophy. You could just be pouring honey in my ears, but that's not half as fun as other places it could go.
Oh my.
Oh my, you've gone kind of red. I shouldn't tease you like that. Maybe I should spend more time training and less time worrying about where I stand in the school. How else will I be good enough to take you down one of these days? Besides, there might be bigger things to worry about. I find myself intrigued by the ghost tales that everyone's mentioning.
Ghost tales? Tell me what you've been hearing about these ghosts.
Other than what Dawnstar senses, all I have is stories, but they're becoming more and more common. Tales of people being haunted by loved ones, and mad ghosts attacking people on the roads, or even in their homes. And Master Li accepts Dawnstar's ability to see and sense things others can't. If he believes her, then how could I believe otherwise?
So in the Jade Empire, which is a fictional world, we're not in China. We're in a place based on China. I think it's mostly based on ancient China and its folklore. Probably around the Qin dynasty, I think. That's the era of the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang. He's the guy that had the giant mausoleum built for himself with the terracotta army. And there are statues later on in the game that are clearly based on that. Yes, I did research. But this world is fictional. And things like ghosts, spirits, heaven, demons, they're all very tangible things here.
They're exactly what you'd expect. The souls of humans who have died. According to all the legends, when you die, your soul travels to the underworld. Once there, your soul is judged and placed upon the wheel of life, so that it can return to this world in a new life. A soul that doesn't return to the wheel of life becomes a ghost.
Where do these ghosts come from?
According to the stories, ghosts are usually people whose souls are trapped in this world, either by circumstance or because they won't let go of their old lives. The thing is, those circumstances are very rare, and you never heard about ghosts 10 years ago. Now everyone's talking about them. It's like something has happened, and people aren't leaving this world like they should be. Either that or it's mass hysteria, but I can't believe that explanation.
Tell me more about Dawnstar's sensitivity.
From what I understand, Dawnstar is very sensitive to magic and to the spirits we call ghosts. She sees things that others can't. Sometimes she knows things that she shouldn't. I really can't say if it's intuition or something else. That was my first question when I started hearing these rumors. Apparently they can look just like us, though possibly pale and faded. Some ghosts have been around a long time, and apparently they begin to change. They grow distant from their bodies and become more monsters than people. The scary thing is that a lot of the stories I've been hearing are about these old ghosts, the ones that look like monsters. It just doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense because the ghosts are supposed to move on before they get to that point.
If you wish, what do you want to ask about? You think I will talk about them behind their backs? I will, but I don't want people to think of me as the local gossip, even if I am just that.
Who are the students of note?
Of note? There's only one student of note, and that would be you. Everyone else, even Dawnstar, is just a background for you and your supposed destiny. Not that you don't deserve the attention. I'd be flirting with you non-stop if you weren't so focused on whatever it is Master Li has in store for you. All of us get a little envious of that. Even Gao gets pushed aside, and he doesn't like being anything less than the center of attention.
Tell me about Gao.
You know him as well as I do. A rich man's son. He's attractive, I suppose, but arrogance follows him like a cloud of locusts. I hear his father is the same way. Gao the Greater and Gao the Lesser. Not a family I would want to be a part of.
Tell me about Dawnstar.
Why do you need to ask me about Dawnstar? You know her better than anyone as far as I'm concerned. You two practically grew up together. Frankly, I think she might have a little crush on you too. Notice how she's been less willing to train with you recently?
Are you trying to make me blush again?
Maybe that's why you two get along so well. Maybe her sense for ghosts and the like meshes well with the great destiny Master Li sees for you.
Maybe she's part of my destiny.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be like that. Dawnstar is a fine person. She just sees things that I can't. I know there are ghosts and spirits, but why should she be able to sense them when I can't? What makes her special? While Master Li tries to never let it show, he obviously holds a special place in his heart for you two. I suppose that's hard to deal with, even if I have been here far less time than you two.
What have you heard about me?
You know what is said. Master Li believes you're special, but won't say why. It makes you interesting. Some of the others don't find it as intriguing as I do. Some even consider it an attack on their worth.
Who should I be concerned about?
Gao, obviously. You know he doesn't like you, he never has. And when Master Li tells him to model himself after you, that just makes it worse. I'm sure you've figured out most of my little quirks by now. I've been here a few years.
How did you come here? Why?
I wasn't the delicate flower my family had hoped for. They believed school would calm my spirit. But Master Li has shown me how to focus myself. I have learned many skills while here, and not many of them require that I be delicate.
What will you do when you're done training here?
When I am done? I haven't really thought about it. I won't go home. There's no place for me there. If I can stomach the books, I could become a scholar. Perhaps I'll go to the Imperial City. I should see it at least once in my life. If you...
Would you be interested in sparring?
Of course. I have to keep practicing if I'm going to be able to best you one day, aren't I?
Let's begin.
Excellent. Let's see if we can use Smiling Mountain's sparring ground. Once we're done, I'll wander back here if you need me again.
You'll wander to the infirmary first. Aha, she has a spear. None of that, thank you. Poking me from a distance. Interrupting my abilities. They're really annoying. What I didn't show you before, if you click both mouse buttons at the same time, you do an AoE. Well, if it works. It's a bit finicky. There we go. She tried to use her power attack then. If you do a regular attack, it will interrupt the power attack. Ow. Stop. This would be a hell of a lot quicker if she did not have a spear, but Stop it! Stop it! God damn. Can I just get a hit in, please? There we go. Jesus. Oh my god. Not even gonna bother doing power attacks against spears, because just one little poke and it's interrupted. That doesn't usually take me that long, but there we go. I'm gonna speak to Smiling Mountain, but Jingwu is gonna be doing that in the background.
I thought Master Li would have your attention for the rest of the day. It is good to see you. I know you haven't had much time for simple sparring. It is too bad. Your fellow students benefit from your experience. A strong opponent is the best trainer. I am charged with giving whatever instruction I can, but my insights deal more with the philosophy of combat than the skills themselves.
You can use Smiling Mountain to spar with more students, but I'm going to speak to him first. Tell me about these philosophies. These are the karma options.
Master Li is very strict about what is taught here. because martial skill is a pathway to great power, and that holds certain risks. It is not just good over evil. Few things in life are that simple. The common way to say it is, do you follow the way of the open palm or the closed fist?
And these aren't as clear-cut as good karma and evil karma. It's not quite as simple as that. It has some intricacies.
A term for the high path, or perhaps the way of restraint and harmony. Many aspire to it, but few achieve it. It is a path of resisting tyranny. Of course, the source of that tyranny varies. It is just as dangerous coming from without as within.
Give me examples.
Tyranny from external sources is easy to find and fight. Defending those who cannot defend themselves is a reasonable example. But when your abilities are so much greater than those around you, there is the temptation to set everything right by might alone. That is tyranny from within.
Sometimes conflict can't be avoided.
True, but that can become a convenient excuse. Eventually you may decide that even direct violence is too inefficient for someone of your strength. It is a small leap from there to enforcing your will so that the crime never takes place. Suddenly you are the oppressor, when all you wanted to do was make things right. This way of the open palm is not without its hidden dangers, despite the best of intentions.
Thanks for that, Xingru. Shut up. Tell me about the way of the closed fist.
It is the low path, the way of aggression and discord. A misunderstood path often misused by those who wish to justify a thuggish nature. It is not as simple as crushing your enemies or as mindless as terrorizing the weak. It is a mindset born of impatience, of imposing your will.
So what is it, if not evil?
An evil man might ignore a plea for help because he does not care, but that shows a disconnection with the world. That is not part of the way. A man on the low path might also ignore that plea, but he would do so because that person should demonstrate they are fit to survive on their own.
What's the difference? The person dies each time.
The difference is in the details. That same man might help if the odds are unreasonable. He might also do it to incur favor. There is thought in his actions. He is not a mindless killer, but he may let strength decide what course is best. That is why it is a dangerous path. It can so easily be misinterpreted.
Does this have any practical effect?
You are the sum of your actions. The harmony or discord that you sow will weigh on your shoulders as surely as any physical yoke. But there can be advantages. Certain forms of attack inherently lean toward one extreme or the other. They have a rhythm that resonates within you. You may find that some attacks perform better if you are more intent on causing discord. How you use this is for you to discover and decide.
So let's just exit out of here for now. Let's go to our menu, our character record. Here we have a bar. It works in a very similar way to light side and dark side, in that it works on a single bar. So if you gain open palm, you lose progress in closed fist, and vice versa, rather than the two bars of Paragon and Renegade in the Mass Effect games.
What can I do for you?
I will be following the way of the open palm.
Who are you interested in?
Tell me what you know of Master Li.
Master Li is a private man, and I will not presume to speak for him. His interest in you surpasses the care of any master I have known. He must see great potential in you.
Tell me about Gao.
I'd rather not. He is impatiently traveling the low path, and I long ago abandoned him to it. He is reckless, and he neither seeks nor wants my guidance. As young as he is, Gao has impressive skill. Master Li has tried to restrain him, but I know how far he has gone. He wields powerful energies, but has the temper of a child. Master Li has taught the base of such techniques to you and others. Mastering Qi is important for any student here, but he also demands control. Gao's father most likely tutored him. By all that I have heard, both are impatient and spoiled. They can be provoked into explosive outbursts.
What do you know about Dawnstar?
Only what she lets me know. A very private woman, despite spending so long in the school. You probably know her as well as anyone does. She has great skill, but a reluctance to use it. If she were to let go, she could be very powerful. Perhaps that is what she fears. If you wish, but only introspection reveals true insight. I used to call the trading center of Phoenix Gate my home, but I am settled here. I have nothing to go back to.
Why did you leave?
It is not important. Suffice to say that I prefer this little village to the temptations of a greater city. Enough about me. What else can I do for you?
How long have you taught here?
It has been several years since I arrived in Two Rivers. I was surprised to find a teacher of Master Li's ability so far out on the borderlands. It was a fortuitous accident. I have studied the martial arts all my life and serve your master as I am able. He is devoted to your training and needs someone to assist the other students.
Jingwu, please.
I am charged.
Let's talk about something else.
The turtle's shell protects him only from harm of which he is aware. Ask away.
Are there any students available to spar with?
There are a few, but not enough for me to set up some of the more challenging matches that I'm sure you would prefer. There will be more students available later in the day when many of their exercises have concluded.
So for now we can only spar with a single student.
Very well. I'll choose someone who is competent in one-on-one combat. This is only a practice bout, so fight until your opponent is knocked out. Get ready.
And you can do this as many times as you like, so you can practice your combat. This guy does not have a spear, so... wrecked.
Very good. Another victory well earned. Now, is there anything else you would like?
I don't think so. Let's look at what items and training he sells.
Ah, yes, training. For some time now, I have offered, for a small fee, to run students through a short regimen that will help them enhance their abilities. The lessons you learn from me, or from any trainer for that matter, will stay with you and help make you stronger, or better able to focus your mind or magic.
So this is about things called techniques.
Training has worth, and Master Li allows me to collect a small fee to reinforce this. Travel outside Two Rivers and you will find my prices are quite reasonable.
However, what he has isn't that great.
Let's see what you can learn.
So these are techniques. They are permanent upgrades to your character. You can see every one of these has a minus to them. We don't want that. And these are expensive anyway. We don't have any silver. We will be getting some, but these are just not worth buying, frankly. Let's go over here. There is a scroll stand and a book stand. This is a scroll stand about harmonic combos. Basically, if you use the power attack of a support style followed by the power attack of a martial style, you can instantly blow up an enemy. They will explode in blood and gore. You don't always use the power attack of the support style though. Later on in the game we will get a style called Storm Dragon. For that you use the AoE for it.